Welcome to this liberal religious congregation. My name is Coco Cobb, and I'm a member of the Board of Trustees. Some of us are bringing our best selves to this place, and some of us are bringing our struggling selves, including pieces we might be ashamed of. All of us are welcome here, and all of us are loved. Some of us already have open hearts, and some of us aren't quite there yet because our hearts have gotten a little beat up this week and might have forgotten how to trust and open. Your heart is welcome here, no matter how bruised. We welcome you among us. All of us are imperfect, but we're here to drop our defenses and trust that what happens in worship is powerful and life-giving. Together, we affirm that this day and our being together can make each of us braver, more compassionate, and wiser than when we woke up this morning. We welcome you here. Now on to announcements. In preparing for these announcements, I was asked to speak with you about a couple of things and point you to our website. But then I tried to find those things on our website and realized how difficult that could be. So I'm going to post links in the chat during the service so that any of you can find what you're looking for. Our first announcement is very dear to my heart. It's the name change vote. It's right around the corner. Pre-pandemic, we asked members to weigh in on their thoughts, both pro and con, regarding the change. If you didn't speak then, or if you have more to say now, there's still time. We'll post a pro-con link so that you can voice your opinions. Also note, Reverend Dawn has put up several articles on the TJ blog. That's under news and events and is easy to find. I urge you to check those out. Don't worry, also there'll be a link. Last but not least, don't forget about daily coffee chat every day at 9 a.m. This Wednesday, Janet Taylor will be the special guest. She'll share what she has learned about COVID-19 from her recent studies at Bellarmine. There's a link to the coffee chat on the TJ homepage. I'll turn it over to the sanctuary now.
Good morning. We light a flaming chalice to honor our heritage as Unitarian Universalists and to symbolize the community we create together, a community that has grown ever more important during these difficult days. If you have a candle or a chalice handy, please light it as we read our chalice lighting words. And children and youth in your homes are warmly invited to act as chalice lighters today. To help children participate, even those who are not readers yet, there's a special repeating line for them. And that line is the one that you see in bold on your screens. We light our chalice in celebration. Parents are invited to help children with their part. We say together, for all those who bring light to the world, we light our chalice in celebration. For the parents and mentors, the seekers, the beginners, we light our chalice in celebration. For the youngest children and the wisest sages, we light our chalice in celebration. For the many different pathways that guide us, we light our chalice in celebration. For the community of love which draws us together, we light our chalice in celebration of all of us. For our opening song today, I found an absolutely charming video produced by the First Unitarian Church of St. Louis. You're going to hear the voices of children and youth singing "Enter, Rejoice, and Come In." The lyrics will scroll, and I invite everyone to sing with them.
Song Like many churches, this church sets aside a Sunday in June near the end of the church year to reflect on the high points of the family ministry program, to thank volunteers who made classes possible, to honor the youth who are graduating and heading off into the next stage of their lives. And while we come to this Sunday ready to celebrate all those meaningful times in our church community over the past several months, we also come to this Sunday carrying concern, even a measure of sadness in the midst of our celebration. Our concern is rooted in the awareness of all the turmoil in our city and across the nation, our wondering what will be needed to make things right again, if that is even possible, our desire to help, our consternation as we discover the usual ways we help are not all that helpful, our worry about the difficult world where we're sending our children. Our sadness this morning comes from having to offer this service in an empty sanctuary with restrictions on how we celebrate as we continue life under the shadow of the pandemic. So while we celebrate and express our gratitude and look towards the future, may we also be mindful this morning of the particular challenges our families have struggled with the past months. Locked down like all of us, restricted in what they could do like all of us, families also had to educate children, find ways to have social times and play together when being outside the home was impossible, mark birthdays in driveways without hugs or sharing of cake, and keep answering the question we all are asking: how long is this going to last? In words that don't burden children with the anxiety adults are carrying, knowing the answer to that question can only be, we don't know. Back 1,000 years ago, when I was a newly minted minister, the education part of church was understood to be just the kids' program, and it was completely separated from the rest of the church. In words one minister used, teaching me how it worked, Unitarian Universalists were adult-centric in congregational life. Decisions about priorities and funds were made with an eye to benefiting adults, and the kids got the leftovers. With this pattern then, why would any of us have been surprised, though we again and again said we were so surprised, that we raised our children to be Unitarians only to see them go off to college and never darken a church door again? Gratefully, times have changed, and education in a church community is understood to be lifelong, and it is envisioned less as gathering information and more as faith development, meaning you come to church not to collect a few more facts like you do from the New York Times, but to address challenging questions that probe your values, your life experiences, your struggles, your dreams. A church is uniquely equipped to guide us through this kind of soul searching, and it is no longer a peripheral activity, but a primary reason we need church in our lives. Today we celebrate the faith development that has unfolded at TJ over the past year and the people who made it possible. Now, more than ever, we need a faith that is strong and clear and visionary, that includes all ages, that can support us when we can no longer support ourselves, that will carry us into an uncertain future with a generous measure of hope. So today we give thanks for the people and the programs that have grown that kind of faith in us this year.
Hey, has anybody seen Jordan? She's supposed to do the story this morning. I don't know where she, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Carry on.
Hi. I've got a book today. It's called Not a Box by Antoinette Portis. to children everywhere, sitting in cardboard boxes. Why are you sitting in that box? It's not a box. It's a race car. What are you doing on top of that box? It's not a box. It's a mountain. Why are you squirting a box? I said it's not a box. I'm putting out a fire. Now you're wearing a box? This is not a box. I'm a robot. Are you still standing around in a box? It's not a box. Well, what is it then? It's not a box. The end. I hope you like this book. There will be some activity suggestions sent out at some point, so stay tuned and send in any of the stuff that you guys make. I can't wait to see it.
Great story. Well, it may not seem like it, but we really did have things happening at church this year. And here's a video reminder of some of the ways that we were together, featuring a song that was written by Mr. Rogers.
A perfectly beautiful day for staying outside here. It's a perfectly beautiful day. Especially when friends like you come visiting. Friends like you who make us feel social. Certain things start happening when you're visiting. When we're together, we're certain to say it's a perfectly beautiful day for playing, a perfectly beautiful day for saying hello. You're welcome here. It's a perfectly beautiful, perfectly beautiful day. It's a perfectly beautiful day. A beautiful day.
We have a Share the Plate offering today for an organization that's fairly near and dear to my heart. The organization is Sweet Evening Breeze, and that organization advocates for homeless LGBTQ plus youth and young adults. And we have a video from John Henney telling us more about that.
Good morning. Today we are having our second online Share the Plate collection. Our first online collection, which we held in May for Louisville Grows, worked well, and we're grateful to those of you who are able to contribute in this new time of virtual church services. Today our Share the Plate collection will go to Sweet Evening Breeze, an organization working to provide shelter in Louisville for the LGBTQ plus youth that do not have a home. I'd like to share a little background with you about our connection with this organization. TJ voted 25 years ago to participate in the Fairness Campaign, and 20 years ago, our church became a UU welcoming congregation in support of LGBTQ plus rights. One of the ways we support and celebrate Pride is that in June of each year, we march in the Pride Parade and join in the Pride Festival. But because of the COVID pandemic, we didn't get to do so this month. Instead, in celebration of Pride Month, we've chosen Sweet Evening Breeze as our Share the Plate recipient. Some of you may remember that Dr. Maurice Gaddis spoke about Sweet Evening Breeze last year at TJ. This organization was named after James Sweet Evening Breeze Herndon, a pioneer in Kentucky's LGBTQ plus community. Dr. Gaddis told us that the vision of Sweet Evening Breeze is to provide shelter, food, and support services to the LGBTQ plus youth that are ages 18 to 24. The need to create these services is motivated by national and Louisville data that shows unhoused LGBTQ plus youth face a lack of affirming services compared to their heterosexual counterparts. Since Dr. Gaddis visited us, Sweet Evening Breeze has formed a vibrant and motivated board of directors, obtained its 501c3 status, and is in the process of hiring an executive director. The goal is to get a shelter for unhoused LGBTQ plus youth open by late this fall or this winter. The funds we raise will go towards providing the shelter. You can donate online anytime over the next 2 weeks in 3 different ways: via the TJ UC website donate button, via text, or by sending a check to the TJ office. We have instructions on how to donate here on your screen and in the Zoom chat feature of this service. You can also get donation instructions on how to donate by a TJUC email that was sent out on June 10th. Thank you for supporting Sweet Evening Breeze.
Normally, during a service like this, we would have groups of young people coming up and doing various presentations for us to show us some of what they'd experienced this year. But this year has ended rather differently. And so what we've done is put together what we hope will be an enjoyable Zoom presentation for you.
All right, let's see what's up next in our service.
Hey, Miss Barb,
Yeah, Sydney.
I think you should tell us a story.
Yeah, but Jordan just told us the story a little while ago, and now's the time in our Celebration Sunday service when we usually do some kind of a skit.
Oh, that's good too, I guess.
Miss Barb.
Hi, Sayub.
Hi. You know what? We could do both.
Both? That's radical.
Yeah. It could be a play about telling a story.
What an interesting thought, Sayo. Would that be acceptable to you, Sydney?
Sure, that's fine with me.
All right then. Places, everybody, friends, please welcome the web in RE players in our interconnected worldwide web, a play about friends, how we care for each other, and about telling a story. Here we go. Take it away, narrator Rehan.
Once upon a time.
Miss Barb, don't you think that's a little fashioned?
Old-fashioned?
You know, the once upon a time thing.
Isn't that how stories usually start, though?
Yeah, old ones.
Ouch! So, how would you start the story?
How about it was a dark and stormy night?
It's not nighttime. How about it was a bright and sunny day?
That sounds better.
Okay.
But it's not quite right.
All right. How about once upon a bright and sunny day, there were some friends?
That could work.
Okay, then. I'll fix it. Are we all ready now?
Yes.
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 All right, let's take it from the top. Rehan, did you get that last change?
Check.
And now we present our interconnected web, take two.
Once upon a bright and sunny day, there were some friends.
Hi.
These friends mostly knew each other from a magical place called the UUFF.
So, the what?
Sorry. Unbelievably unique face of fantasticness. They love to go to family ministry groups. You know, what we used to call RE.
Wait, what? I thought RE meant ridiculously extraordinary.
As I was saying, these friends mostly love to eat delicious food at potlucks held on the first Sunday of every month.
Yum.
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 Until one day, something very strange happened.
Oh God, we're all trapped in these boxes.
Is.
Yes, the children found themselves trapped in boxes. They couldn't go out, they couldn't go to church, they couldn't even go to school.
Hello? Hello? Is anyone out there?
Hello? Help. I seem to be stuck.
Well, thank goodness. Who's there?
It's me, Matt. Scott, is that you? Are you trapped in a box too?
I think so.
Me too. I'm not even sure how I got here.
One by one, the friends called out to each other.
Can anyone hear me? Hello, can anyone hear me?
I can hear you. Who is that?
It's me, Willow, I'm here. Hi, it's Sydney, I'm here.
And Sahil. I'm here too.
And me. Can anyone see us?
Sort of. If I look sideways really hard.
This was a very confusing situation for our dear friends.
I'm so confused.
How did we even get here?
I don't know. One minute I was on my way home from school, and the next thing I know, poof, here I am.
Me too. What? Well, it was more like boing and less poof. But yeah, here I am.
Well, now that we're all here, maybe we should come up with some ideas of getting out.
And so they huffed and they puffed and tried to blow the box down.
For real?
Oh, sorry, wrong story. And they pushed and they shoved and tried to force their way out. To no avail.
Miss Barb. Miss Barb.
Oh, sorry, I got lost in my box. Yeah,
What does to no avail mean?
it means it didn't work.
Well, why didn't they just say so?
Well, that's a really good question. Rayhan?
Fine. But it didn't work.
Wait, I have a brilliant idea. I saw this on TV once.
What were you trying to do?
I was just trying to, pop myself out of here like on I Dream of Jeannie.
I dream of hell.
It's a really old TV show. At least Scott didn't try to beam himself up.
Now you're just talking nonsense. Okay, that's it.
Hey, why did you turn it off?
I think I can think better this way.
Maybe we should all try that. Let's go think on our own boxes for a little while.
Okay, sure.
Let's try.
Da 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 da.
Singing, please stop. I can't concentrate.
I'm sorry.
I'm bored.
Me too.
So did anyone think of anything? I got nothing.
I could try the genie thing again.
Please.
Please don't.
Well, I was thinking while I was alone, sitting in the dark, in the box, that even though this might not be the best situation, as members of the unbelievably unique faith of fantasticness, we do have tools that could help us get out.
Out?
Well, not out, but just like out, something helpful.
Oh, I get it.
Like what?
Wait, don't tell me. I know this. We have our principles.
Ding, ding, ding. But there are so many.
Yeah, there are 7, and they're talking about adding another one.
Wait, can we do that?
Of course we can. That's what makes our principles so amazing. We know we created them, and we can change them anytime a vote at a General Assembly decides to do that.
So, what are the principles again?
I know the first one is that everyone is important, and that makes me feel good knowing that I matter, even though I'm stuck in this box.
And the second one is to be kind in all we do.
Yep, and the third principle is about learning, while the fourth calls us to search for what is true. We would spend time discussing the existential meaning of the box and what it represents to each of us in the great, expansive cosmos of the universe.
Wow, Scott, that was very profound.
Yeah, he's a pretty deep person some of the time.
And if anyone stops being kind and we get in an argument, we can vote to settle the conflict. That's the 5th principle.
And voting and being kind helps us build a fair and peaceful world. Well, box. That's interesting.
And then they realized that all of these principles, all of these ways of treating each other and taking care of each other and respecting each other come together in the 7th principle.
The children's version of the 7th principle says to care for our Earth home to remind us that we are all connected. Even in these boxes, we can still connect anyway with each other. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, no matter how long we're stuck in these boxes, we'll be okay because we can still connect. We're connected to each other and to this web of life, even if we're in here for years and years and years and years.
Hope it's not that long. You know what? I think we'll be okay.
Me too.
As long as we have each other, right?
Right. See you tomorrow? Probably.
You know where to find me.
Bye.
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 The end.
So, what did you think of the story play?
Play story.
Right, I forgot, play story. But did you like it?
Yeah, it was good.
Oh, Miss Barb, were those kids really stuck in boxes?
Well, in a weird way. We may think we're all stuck in boxes right now because there are still limitations on what we can do and where we can go. It's hard feeling like we can't go to friends' houses or be together at church. Even though we may feel stuck in our boxes right now so that we can keep each other safe, it's important to know that our church is much bigger than the building, and we can still be together in different ways, like this. So, what is the most important thing to remember?
Our church is not a box, but we can still connect anyway.
Where?
On our interconnected World Wide Web.
Awesome, that's right. Everybody come on back, turn your cameras back on, and let's take a bow. Make sure everybody's here. Awesome. Sahil, Willow, Sydney, Scott, and Matt. Thank you. Awesome.
Forgot the narrator guy. I also forgot his name.
Well, our narrator, Rehan Egbert, missed getting his bow when we recorded our skit yesterday. And the cast really wanted to make sure that he got his chance today. Can we find Rehan and unmute him or make him visible so he can take a quick bow? Rehan, are you out there? Maybe that's not doable. Anyway, imagine the fabulous Rehan taking a bow. The kids had a lot of fun putting that skit together, and I hope you enjoyed watching it. I'd like to give a special round of applause to one of my colleagues, Chris Johns, who developed the original skit that mine was adapted from. And now, this is the point in our service where we lift up and appreciate our Lifespan Faith Engagement folks. The journey of Lifespan Faith Engagement takes place because of all the people who help make it happen. And while staff and committees serve as the foundation, nothing of substance can be built without the people who breathe life into the program. In the June issue of Tapestry, you may have noticed a rather impressive list of people who have done just that. Every single one of those people is important, whether they sharpened pencils, sorted markers, or led some kind of a group. And today we have several special people that we want to honor. We'll begin by welcoming Alan Godsave, co-chairperson of the Adult Religious Education Committee.
Thank you, Barbara. And good morning. Adult Religious Exploration at TJ is about developing and offering inclusive and meaningful educational and religious experience. And in order to accomplish this, it takes a village. There were at least 22 members of our congregation who made substantial contributions to our educational programs this year. Those individuals, as Barb mentioned, are recognized in the June Tapestry, and we are so thankful for all that they did. This morning, I would like to recognize two of those individuals as our ARE Contributors of the Year. The first is Nancy Thomas. She facilitated two wonderful and creative open campus classes in the fall. She did the other Shakespeare, Christopher Marlowe, in the winter Art of the Western World. And she'll be doing a third class this fall. She attended a spiritual practices class that Reverend Kathy did. And as a result of that, she initiated and developed a spiritual practices group that was scheduled actually to begin in April of this year, but due to the pandemic, it's been postponed. But we are so fortunate to have Nancy Thomas with us, and thank her so much. The next contributor of the year is Reverend Kathy. She facilitated two hugely successful open campus classes, spiritual practices in the fall, TJ past, present, and future in the winter. And each of those classes had record attendance over the last 5 years since I've been at TJ. Reverend Kathy also did a class recently on white fragility, and she worked with Nancy Thomas in developing the spiritual practices group. Reverend Kathy, these are just some of the things that Reverend Kathy has done to contribute to adult religious exploration at TJ. And from the ARE committee's perspective, she is a superstar. And finally, we would like to thank each of you for being a part of religious exploration at TJ. During the last year, we had over 200 registrants for the 11 classes that were offered during Open Campus. Again, it takes a village. Thank you, each of you, for being such an important part of it. Barb, back to you in the sanctuary.
Now it's time to offer special recognition to an individual who's made exceptional contributions to the family ministry program this year. As a matter of fact, this gal has pretty much been all over the place doing amazing things. Dawn Moretz jumped in to serve as chairperson of the family ministry planning team during a challenging transitional year when the church was leaning into a new way of doing religious education and adjusting to a new interim minister. Dawn has not only done stellar work, but has been an absolute joy to work with. Thank you, Dawn. I'll have a present for you when I see you. I'd like to offer a special thank you song. This is one that has been done before. This is I Think You're Wonderful, and I want to tell you that Red Grammer, the composer, is so happy that we are doing this song today. If you know it, join in. I think you're wonderful when somebody says that to me. I feel wonderful, wonderful as can be. It makes me want to say the same thing to somebody new. And by the way, I've been meaning to say I think you're wonderful too. If we practice this phrase in the most honest ways, find something special in someone each day, we'll lift up the world one heart at a time. And it all starts by saying this one simple line. I think you're wonderful. Somebody says that to me. I feel wonderful as can be. It makes me want to say the same thing. And by the way, I've been meaning to say, I think you're wonderful too. When each one of us feels important inside, loving and giving, so glad we're alive. Oh, what a difference we'll make in each day. And all because someone decided to say, I hope you're singing with me, I think you're wonderful. Somebody says that to me. I feel wonderful, as wonderful as can be. It makes me want to say the same thing to somebody new. This is my favorite part of this whole service. Every phase and stage of our lives is important, and it's our tradition to honor the transitions of our children, youth, and young adults. Lifespan faith engagement is a continuing journey, and we have some travelers to honor today. We celebrate you as you take the next steps on your journeys, and our wish for you is that this be a time full of growth and wonder, a time of hope, expectations, challenges, achievements, and hopefully some fun. Today we honor Skylar Williams, who is moving up to middle school, Matt Grunig, who is moving up to high school, and Cece Leonard, Wade Helms' stepdaughter, who has graduated from college. We celebrate you all. And we also honor our graduating high school senior, Isabel Alvarez. We have a special video.
Almost 3 years ago, I attended my first church service in this building. In some ways, it feels like I just joined yesterday, like I'm still that wide-eyed, blue-haired, newly 15-year-old girl. At that time, I had no knowledge of all the people I would meet, the experiences I would share, or the speeches I would give. In some ways, it feels like I've only joined yesterday, but the personal impact that these 3 years at TJ have had on me has transcended the time span which it has covered. Oftentimes, people are surprised to learn that I'm a numbers girl. In college, I plan to major in computer science because to me, programming feels like a fun application of math. Here are the numbers about my time at TJ. In 3 years, I've attended upwards of 100 Sunday services, met with FMPT 40 times, eaten 20 potluck meals, and attended 6 regional youth cons. In 3 years, I've witnessed the leadership of 3 wonderful ministers. I have planned and run 2 youth-led services, and I have watched my church adapt to 1 global pandemic. My favorite part of every service of which I have taken part has been the handshake as congregants leave the sanctuary. It seems as though it would get repetitive, and by the 60th or 70th person, it kind of does. Yet, there's something so innately human, so heartwarming and personal about the simple act of shaking a hand and accepting the appreciation of another. Even though the system repeats itself, each person offers a different piece of themselves in their handshake. Some have a tight grip, and others are barely tangible. Some go for the hug, and some prefer to go for the energy of a high five or a fist bump. Now I look back at that practice, and I can't help but cringe at the thought of all the bacteria that was exchanged. The only thing better than the handshakes were the kind words I received. It's impossible to precisely remember the nuance of a handshake, but there are many remarks I doubt I'll ever forget. Today, I am acutely aware of the lack of handshakes I will give and receive. I'm aware that I won't be able to individually give thanks to everyone who took the time to listen to a high schooler's ranting, but I still want to thank everyone. I want to thank those who both personally helped me tackle any problem or goal I've had while here, and I want to thank those who simply provided an ear for my words to fall upon. For this morning, I was asked to prepare my credo statement, a belief so strong that it will guide my actions. Here it is. I believe in the spoken word. I believe that the spoken word is the single most powerful tool a human can use. I believe that the spoken word is such a fundamental human need that without it, our lives would be devoid of true humanity. The spoken word, unlike the written word, very much exists in time. It cannot be erased or rewritten, only forgotten or repeated. Humans, in the same way, are a product of their times. Time itself is the universal leveler, but through the power of the spoken word, we can cling onto a moment. Be it as grand as a televised speech or as intimate as a whispered conversation, the power of the spoken word reveals itself. I believe in the power of the spoken word because through my time at TJ, I have seen and felt the results of it. Almost 3 years ago, I attended my first church service in this building. But all the allies I've made, the experience I've gained, the spoken words I've shared, I take those with me beyond. I take each and every one of the interactions I've had with my fellow congregants and leaders of this church, and I'll bring those with me as I leave the building today. I won't get to shake the hand of every person as I walk through that door, but I will carry your handshakes with me, nonetheless, beyond that door and every doorway after. Just as this church exists for the betterment of its congregants, I'll make sure to treasure and use these joys for the benefit of the people beyond these walls. I will carry a piece of Thomas Jefferson Unitarian Church always, and I thank you for that.
Hey Isabel, happy bridging! Look, we got the bridge and everything. It's been a good run. Together we noticed that there's a better way to go about being human together than what is normal for most of the world. And we went looking for that better way in places like Flame Keepers and Hayseed and Leadership School. And the best part about being a youth advisor is knowing that now that you'll be able to go off and go even further on that journey. There were times when our youth group got down to having numbers like as low as 1, but with work as important as this, 1 is enough. I'm honored to be part of this as we commemorate your next steps. I know that you're going to be going into those next steps in what could easily be called interesting times, but I really think you're just right for the job. That old normal had better just watch out. Peace.
Hi Isabel, I just wanted to say congratulations and welcome you to adulthood.
Congrats, Isabel. I know you'll do great things.
Hi Isabel, congratulations on graduating from high school and bridging over into young adulthood. We sure have enjoyed having you on the Family Ministry Program team and look forward to the things that you'll be offering to the world in the future. Good luck.
Isabel, though I've not even known you a year, I've learned one very important thing from you, which is that when you're speaking in a service or gathering, I need to speak after you, not before you, because once you speak, That's what people remember. And yet, that's really what it should be. You're the voice going forward. And listening to your credo this morning, that helps me understand why your words have stayed with so many of us all this year long. Whenever I do a child dedication, I sometimes use some words from a Bengali poet, Rabindranath Tagore, that talks about how each child comes into the world bearing the glad message that there is still hope. Isabel, you give all of us hope, and boy, we needed hope this year. Thank you for that gift.
Today we honor you, Isabel, as you step toward new experiences as a young adult during what Dan Sturdivant so aptly described as interesting times. It's been a joy to know you, and this community is a better place thanks to your active involvement. Go out there, Isabel. Make your mark and bring your many gifts to the world around you. You'll have a whole lot of people watching and cheering you on. And what's in this box is for you. And I'm going to leave it here, and you can get it afterwards. The contents of that box have been carefully socially distancing themselves. These have indeed been interesting times. All of our lives have changed substantially since the pandemic came to live with us, and it's important to sit with what we've lost along the way. Going to work, going to school, being at church together, being with our friends, enjoying big public events, hugging each other. In many ways, it's understandable that we may all feel very much stuck in boxes. But what if the boxes we're really stuck in come from our attitudes and ways of perceiving the world we live in? One of the boxes we may be stuck in is thinking that we'll be able to do an I dream of Jeannie trick and bounce ourselves out and have everything be back to normal. What we need now is a lot of out-of-the-box thinking. Lifespan Faith Engagement has been working on doing just that. The adult RE folks are working on new ways of doing open campus. And this year, the family ministry folks were all ready to roll out an exciting new way of doing small groups for children and youth, all very dependent on being physically together. We've needed to do a rapid reimagining of how we can support our families and engage our children and youth. And we're playing with how best to accomplish that. We'll be continuing to reimagine how to build relationships among children and youth and among our families. Our Zoom skit today is just a sample of the sort of things we'll be up to. We'll also be rolling out something new for our families. Beginning on Sunday, June 28th, our regular services will be followed by a special family Zoom gathering. And more information on that will be coming out soon. The ancient Greek philosopher Plato gave us the idea that necessity is the mother of invention, that a need or problem encourages creative efforts to meet the need or solve the problem. So come with us on this strange journey as we engage creative thinking and imagination to reshape how we do lifespan faith engagement. This work will not only get us through the pandemic, but it will also set us up for reaching out far beyond the walls of our building to connect with people of all ages who need the good news that Unitarian Universalist tradition brings. As we extinguish the flame of our chalice, imagine that it remains lit within us. We extinguish our chalice flame, but never the fire of commitment and community. Our closing words today are adapted from Beth Casebolt. As our service ends, take with you a sense of the joy from the gifts we've been honored with, a sense of appreciation for the work of others, a sense of commitment to the strengthening of our church, a sense of love from those who support us in this community, a sense of awe for what we can accomplish when we come together in our faith.
Shalom.
Salam.
Namaste.
Blessed be.
Amen.
Stay well.